just when you have the Giants and the Dodgers, we know it's a historic rivalry, but there is something to you always these guys. It requires so much mental, physical energy in these games. Why do you think that is?
That's a really great question. It's a great series. It's a great rivalry. I think it's very taxing physically, mentally, because they do such a good job of matching up, and I think and winning every margin. So I think, on the surface, it's great quality baseball, a lot of talent on the baseball field, but under the hood, there's a lot of kind of cat and mouse trying to get matchup advantages.
Is there a conversation ahead of these matchups in this series specifically that you have with the guys?
No. I think that our guys are pretty familiar with that ball club, albeit there's some new faces over there, but kind of how they think, how they play the game. So, and we think a lot alike. So I think that, when you take two organizations that sort of see the world similarly in a lot of aspects, it makes it sometimes fun and challenging.
When you reflect on the last year of what this rivalry looks like, what's one of the biggest takeaways for you?
I think probably the biggest takeaway is both teams have shown relevance in the National League and baseball, that there's higher stakes, and you can forecast looking late into September into October that these two teams could be facing each other again for high stakes. So I think it's great for the rivalry. I think it's great for baseball.
Was movement really up to today part of that cat and mouse game and trying to get the best matchup for against this team in particular?
I think we just felt that with the off day, there's another off day after this series, to just get him in there, not have too many missed days in between starts. It just sort of lined up. But the way he's throwing the baseball, Julio matches up with anyone.
Skipper, it's really kind of amazing when we talk about the irony in sports. The same number of years it's been since the All-Star game has been here, Jackie Robinson's number, it makes people think, man, it's really kind of amazing. This was really supposed to be after all that we've gone through.
Yeah, Jim, it's remarkable to get back to baseball. We're just coming off Jackie Robinson Day, and as you mentioned, it's been, 42 years?
Yeah.
And to have the All-Star game here, we had a press conference today about that. So to get the All-Star game here for the Midsummer Classic, it's great. We got full capacity. There's great baseball. I've said it many times over. I think there's more talent in the game than there ever has been. And I also was made aware that viewership in baseball is up so far this year, which is exciting.
So it shows how much the public misses this game when it wasn't played.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I think that it's a great baseball game. I think now we're all doing a much better job of talking about what's great about the game and the great players that we have. There's certain things that we got to clean up. We're trying to clean up as an industry, but the more focus we can put on the rivalries, the great history of the game, the great players right now, it's all beneficial and upside.
Jake, talking about the last time they ended up facing 19 times in the year. Last year, obviously, it was 4. I mean, how much did you feel like maybe it lost with maybe more diverse scheduling starting next season?
So, yeah, I love playing the Giants 19 times and the teams in our division. It adds to the region, the fan bases. I guess that, if you have a balanced schedule where everyone's playing everyone the same amount of times, you get the records are more indicative of the schedule. So I guess that's fair. But I guess I'm more of the mind of the regional kind of thing, and it's also a little bit less travel.
They're talking about the new faces on the other side. Obviously, Joc is not a new face for you. Have you talked to him? Did you get to see Joc?
He does a good job of keeping in touch with his former teammates. I haven't talked to him, but he's off to a great start.
Do you have a starter for tomorrow?
We don't. We don't. I think that there's a couple thoughts. Some of it is dependent on how tonight goes. Some of it not really, contingent on how tonight goes. But I think we're going to see how it goes and then kind of figure out how we're going to navigate tomorrow's game.
This kind of goes back to last year, Game 5, just the cat and mouse game that the front offices obviously have with each other. How much does that play into this whole matchup for not only these two games, but moving forward?
I think that's a fair assessment. I do think that there's, I mean, you can say it's gamesmanship, but I don't think that we're just dead set on who we want to start tomorrow. But certainly the way that roster over there is constructed very well, you know, how you decide a starter or how you don't is advantageous for us, could be or couldn't, you know, or for them. So I think that right now there's just no benefit to divulging that right now.
Is it more about like trying to make them react to you rather than you guys having to react to what they do?
I think so. You know, I think if you're talking about lineups and how you construct versus a particular pitcher that night, it gives the advantage to that lineup versus the pitcher. And so when you can kind of, how you can maybe counteract or, you know, guard against or react, I guess, gives us a better chance. So a very vague way of trying to answer your question.
Gabe and I think just that team as a whole has been pretty unapologetic about just sort of not abiding by the sort of unwritten rules of the game, particularly with regards to like tacking on runs late when you have big leads. What's your take on that just as a strategy, I guess?
I understand it. I think that we all live in the moment, but when you're trying to manage a game and you're trying to win series and trying to win as many games as you can in a season, there's always a cost. Whether you tack on a run, you give up a run, you use a leverage guy, you stay away from a couple guys, all those things matter. So I completely understand, you know, his thought process. You know, I might or might not, you know, follow suit, but I understand where he's coming from.
Dave, I think
Can you take that back?
What's that?
Take it back. Call it classless. Absolutely the wrong way to play the game. Come on, entertain us a little.
You want me to entertain you?
Yeah,
So you go,
yeah, that's your job.
That's my job.
That's your
right?
job. And
The game's about the players, Dylan. The players are going to entertain us tonight.
yeah, well, sometimes
Right?
you got to put the, you know, you got to put the governor on that. Which you have done in
You know what?
other
Honestly, Dylan, I don't know the exact situation. I really don't. So, you know, if it was a 7-9, I don't know who was available, who they want to stay with. I have no idea. So if I don't really have all the context, I just don't think it's fair for me to answer. I don't know. Because I heard about it, but I didn't want to dig into the exact scenario.
Well, if they happen to do it to you, I hope you send a message, you know.
I'm here to entertain you, so
Yeah.
I'll see if I can do my part.
And I want you to be the first guy on the field when,
That's right.
when the bench is clear.
And just to make sure that you say that like you're okay with them doing it. It's not something that you guys really
right.
deploy as aggressively, right?
Right.
I'm not wrong about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's been many times this year where we've been in a plus game and plus game, and it's been a 3-0 count, and I've had the guys take.
Yeah.
So that's just the way I see the game. But I'm not going to condemn another manager, if they feel the green light should be on there.
Dave, I think it'd be fair and realistic for us to all think that these two teams could battle into late September. When it's the first of 19, how do you balance importance? Big, little, small?
I think it's small in the scope of one of 162, one of 19. I think it's big in the sense that we just want to play well and we want to win a baseball game. So as far as it's not about setting a tone, it's two different ball clubs, it's a different year. We just want to play good baseball, and that's the team over there that, you know, we need to go through. You know, they're the defending National League West champions. And so I know that I take it personal that we're not the defending champs in the National League West. So, and I know our guys do too. So this is a part of it. So it's a big game.
Dave, you talked I think earlier this year about that series last year, how it might have kind of taken, right, maybe not just that series, but also going down the stretch, that it might have taken some stuff out of you guys.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that this year, I guess, in terms of the Padres theoretically might be even better than those guys. Obviously, they're pretty good again this year. Do you feel you're, I guess, maybe better situated to withstand that type of grind this year than you were last year? Or?
Honestly, last year was a grind. I think that you said it. I mean, I think our division is one of the best in baseball. But the carrot is winning the division, and we were victims and self-inflicted victims of not winning the division and having a tougher trek, and we paid the cost. And so, understanding and appreciating that we're not taking it for granted, and we have, I would argue, a tougher division. We got our work cut out, and so it kind of goes back to the question earlier. It's like every game is really important, and we just don't want to give any games away.
So far, like the division record's not great, right? You would know, maybe.
Bill would know.
Leave me out of this.
Jack, you know?
Our division record?
Yeah, isn't it not great right now?
I don't. Is
that alarming at all? I guess.
No, I mean right now it's not. I think that we lost a series to Arizona, Colorado. I think we won a series to San Diego. So we got these guys. So we got to play better. But we got a long way to go. But they're all important though.
When did you sort of sense last year that how much that pennant chase that NLDS had taken out of you? Was it sort of like walking out of the ballpark in Atlanta? When did you sort of really realize how much that took out maybe compared to previous years?
I think going into that Atlanta series, I think when it was you're fighting tooth and nail to win a wild card game at home, a do or die game, and then you got to go up to the Bay and fight tooth and nail to win a Game 5 on the road. Getting to Atlanta and kind of trying to figure out how you're going to line up pitching, and that's the byproduct. That was the cost of not winning the division.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.